Hi guys, welcome to the 14.5 Throwdown hosted by Blue Dinosaur Paleo Bars and Alpha Fit. I'm Cameron Ahmed, this is Lachlan Rouston.
Hey guys, how you going?
We'll be calling it for you guys today who are watching out on interwebs. So this is the last workout in the CrossFit Open. It's the road to regionals. We've got a litany of athletes here. Who do we have on the women's side of the fence, Lock?
We have top girls, you probably all know their names. Jess Cogan out of Norwest, Amy Dracup from CrossFit Open in Melbourne. We've got Vicki Weber, CrossFit Lake Macquarie, Ruth, Anderson Horrell, as you guys all know, games competitor, very strong athlete. Looking forward to seeing her work out in person. And CrossFit Wild South, I believe, and Justine Beath, CrossFit Active, personal friend, but big things today. It's going to be exciting.
Awesome. And on the men's side of the fence, we got Khan Porter from CrossFit Play, Rory Boyden from CrossFit Creature, Ben Gerard from Bent on CrossFit, Brendan Swan from CrossFit Western Front, and Dean Linder-Leighton from Bring It On CrossFit. Now, these guys are all top 20 athletes. Most of them have been to regionals before, and it's going to be a pretty hot heat. These guys today, they're not playing to fight to regionals. This is all really for bragging rights, isn't it, Locke?
Yeah, I think, like with the setting, like there's a lot of people here, and like big atmosphere is pumped up. They're trying to replicate something that's like regionals, whether or not they're in the best environment, if they're comfortable or not. I think that it's really important that they perform well here and they get a feel for what it's like what regionals is going to feel like, see how they perform, see if the other guys are in shape. I'm sure they are, but with the Open, there's always that mystery. Like what are they doing at their box? Are their reps legit? Today, we're definitely going to find out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is going to be an epic throwdown. So the last thing that I'll call out before we kick off is if you want to hit us up on Twitter, hashtag BDA Throwdown. We'll try and answer your questions as they come up. And, we'll do a couple of interviews as we go. Thanks very much, and we'll talk to you as we call it out.
See you soon, guys.
If we're still streaming, we're just about to kick off and do an intro on our side of the fence. Locke, it's going to be pretty interesting, Locke, with the performance of these guys. So thrusters and burpees. Talk us through the workout. What do you think about this workout?
Yeah, so we weren't particularly surprised about the movements. In my opinion, like I wasn't really surprised about the reps either. But for time is an interesting aspect. Like I've been told, I don't think it's that exciting necessarily for the top guys, but for the majority of the population, this was a very, very interesting way to put the workout.
I did this workout yesterday, and I'm pretty out of shape at the moment. It hurt.
It was interesting to watch.
Yeah, probably one of the things, Locke, that you've mentioned as a coach, a key aspect is getting through those first 21 and the set of 18. Sure. You're halfway done after that. Do you think these guys are going to go ham, or?
So, a big thing that people have to realize that the smaller athlete obviously will do better in this workout. Someone who's structurally very well put together, good mobility, good position in the squat, and all these athletes here today have that. So for them, they're a small percentage that really are going to be able to push it hard. If you're a taller, less mobile athlete, it's going to be a long muscular endurance piece. It's more about your pacing. But for these guys here today, it's all about that will, trying to push to the end. It's going to be really interesting, really interesting.
I spoke to one of the competitors before the workout and before we kicked off, Ben Gerard, and, he said he is aiming for Rich Froning's title on this workout. Rich posted an 8:24, and that's an impressive number. We're seeing a lot of guys come in around that 10-minute mark. Probably a lot of the guys today have already done the workout. I would say they're coming in around the 10 minutes. What do you think, Locke?
I think that, it's really going to be after they pick up the bar for the 18. For me and a lot of other people, and for them as well, it's where the workout begins. And from there, it's about how well can you pace, how well can you not get kicked in the nuts and feel like you really want to put that bar down. It'll be interesting to see how they pace. I think they can still get a really good time, just with the right strategy for themselves. Everyone should be doing something different, and I hope we see that here today.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about the women for a second. So it's a pretty hot heat. We mentioned the players before. It's really interesting. The women seem a bit older than the men in CrossFit. Age rewards women.
Yes.
The age brackets go from 23 with Justine all the way up to 35 with Vicki Weber. And, you know, their open results are all pretty consistent so far. We've got Jess Cogan we've got Justine in 13th, Jess in 10th, Vicki in 12th, Jess in 10th, and Amy in 8th, and obviously Ruth in 1st. You know, I don't think this is going to shake it up too much, but, you know, this is going to nail it.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting. All athletes are pretty similar size. I think Ruth's probably kind of the outlier in terms of weight, but that just gives her help on the thrusters.
Yeah. So,
sorry, there'll be a good balance between all the athletes. You know, I think really for this workout for these top girls, it's going to be about that capacity, that aerobic, that engine. How well can they last without hitting that failure piece on the burpees?
Yeah. Now, thanks, Locke. Now, one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, and we just want to call out, is that today is all about camp quality and all about the spirit of CrossFit. So, Blue Dinosaur and Alpha Fit have put this on today, but our main focus is raising funds for camp quality. Please go onto their website, www.campquality.com, and donate. All proceeds will go to camp quality today. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, so now we talked about the women. What about the men? So we've got a younger set of men. So we're talking about the men now, and you know, really tight age grouping, all between 23 and 20, or 22 and 25. You know, their open scores are all pretty tight. I think the men's side of the field is a bit more unpredictable than the women's. These guys are all fighting for a place to the games, I feel. What are your thoughts? Do you think they've all got an equal chance?
I definitely think every athlete at regionals that's been in the top 10 has a strong chance. You know, they've proven that if things come up that are balanced and good for their strengths, they can definitely be up there with the top guys. So yeah, I think all the guys will definitely have something to prove today for regionals. I guess we're going to find out a little bit.
That's really interesting that you mentioned that, Locke, because the one athlete who has never been in the top 10 of regionals is Gerard. Now, Ben had a bit of controversy last year in 2012 where he didn't compete, but he would probably be one of our favourites to go to regionals this year, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think it was all a bit tainted. You know, he had his workout disqualified, so he missed out on the regionals. And we all see social media is very strong. He has performed very well at the OC Throwdown. That was this year, I believe, in January, and that was a very top comp. There were a lot of games athletes there from the States, and he performed really well there. So, I mean, in my eyes, and probably in a lot of CrossFitters' eyes, he deserved to be at the regionals last year, and this year I think he definitely has something to prove. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as well. Even if we go back before the OC Throwdown and you go back to the Schwartz's comp back in October last year, you know, he placed second against Rob Forden, the fittest in Australia. You had a full set of regionals athletes there. So, you know, you had people like Khan, he placed 5th, Roz placed 9th, and Dean Linder-Leighton 12th. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys come out and whether Ben's going to make a statement today.
Yeah, no, I definitely think Ben's always out to prove himself. He's done it multiple times, but he'll never shy away from the challenge. Again, it's only thrusters and burpees, but as we've said before, there is a lot to prove today. All athletes are going to give it 100%, so very excited, very excited.
Guys, we just got our first Twitter in from the Brave. They want to know why Lockie isn't in a shirt. Lock, why aren't you in a shirt?
I'm in a shirt, but I'm representing CrossFit Creature. If Alpha Fit wants a shout out, I can turn around for you guys. Check this out.
Yeah. I'm in a shirt because we wanted to go for a good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
Oh, right, like a shirt with buttons.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Yeah, I'm just not suited to anything that doesn't fit my chest. I got a massive chest, so.
It's really important, again, hashtag BDA Throwdown, and we will come back to you. So we're just waiting to introduce the athletes. The women are going to go first. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
So let's talk about the women for a second again. Now, we've got Ruth here. She's going for her 4th attempt at the Games. She's probably the most Okay. Yeah. We've got Ruth Anderson Horrell. She is the probably one of the strongest competitors in our region, up there with Cara. Ruth's going for her 4th attempt at the Worlds. She's pretty modest when we were talking to her in the pre-game interview. What do you think is going to happen today? Like, we talked about her being a favourite. What about at regionals? Do you think she's got a ticket to the games?
Well, look, no one really has a ticket to the games, but when you look at our girls and how they've performed in the past, they're definitely up there in the world. So it's hard to say that she won't qualify. I believe that she has a really good chance. She's strong. She's got the gymnastics. She's got a lot of conditioning. She's got experience. Experience is definitely probably one of the most non-talked about things in CrossFit. Everyone's talking about the training, the physiological aspects, but I definitely think that with going to the games 3 times, competing at the, what was it in New Zealand? Was it the CrossFit Tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, the CrossFit Tour. She proves herself time and time again. She loves the competition. She's definitely a girl to watch out for.
Look, we're just going to cut to Ruth's interview now we did before the Throwdown.
Fantastic.
So
let's take a look.
You don't have to listen to her. You don't have to listen to us for a little while. Hi guys, I'm here with Ruth Anderson Horrell now. Ruth, thanks for your time before the workout.
No worries.
Awesome. You're possibly the most consistent female in the region. You've gone to the games 3 times. This is your 4th trip to the games, potentially. What's the trick?
Just being prepared to continue to tackle my weaknesses.
Awesome. And how do you go about doing that?
Just get my programming done by Dusty Highland and my Ollie through Jules Dempsey, and we just sit down and look at me as an athlete and say where are the holes, what do we need to fix, and then we just base the program around that.
Awesome. And are there 3 tickets to the games or 1 beside you and Cara?
Shoot, anything can happen from this point. There's still quite a few weeks left till we get to regionals, and your health and fitness on the weekend is really what it comes down to in that weekend at regionals. So anything can happen.
You're very humble. Final question. Do you have any shout-outs for back home or to the States?
Ooh, yeah, shoot. I'm supported by so many people. And we're actually moving gyms at the moment, and I've come over and left everyone else to it. So I guess shout out to everyone at CrossFit World South that's working hard and probably got paintbrushes in their hands at the moment. My family and my coaches and, my extended family in America.
Awesome. Thank you very much, and best of luck today. Cheers, Ruth. All right, that was really good to hear from Ruth. I think we've talked about her a lot. Let's talk about some of our other competitors. So let's flick to the boys we'll finish up with the girls. So Vicki Weber, oldest woman on the field here today, youngest athlete from an athlete age perspective.
Okay.
Just switched coaches, crushing the Open, currently in 12th place. What are we going to see from her today?
Look, I think she's got experience. She's a strong competitor. She's been to regionals before.
Yep.
Yeah.
She finished 9th last year at regionals.
Right. I think with a new coach, it can make all the difference. Having a good coach that has you on the right program, has you doing things that are good for you individually, is so important for recovery and just mental training, feeling prepared, having that self-confidence, which is so crucial in our sport. So, I think she'll do well. I think she'll do really well.
That's really good. It's really good. Let's actually cut to Vicki's interview now, if you'd like. And, we talked to her before. We'll see what she had to say for herself.
Yep.
Awesome. Guys, I'm here with Vicki Weber. I'm just going to ask her a couple of questions before the BDB Throwdown. Vicki, last year, your teenage daughter took you to show and tell after the regionals. Will she be doing that after August this year?
Well, she's actually bringing her class into the gym, and that's actually after regionals. So
awesome.
You're coming to me.
Very good, very good. Now, this year, we're talking about it before, you've changed coaches. How are you finding the difference?
Yeah, really good. It's, a different approach again. I don't think there's really any right or wrong way to programming, and everyone's got their different ideas, and it's working well, and I feel good, and I feel fit and strong, and yeah.
Do you feel better prepared for regionals?
Yeah, look, I think so. Yeah, I mean, who knows?
Awesome. So you started your box this year with Keegan, and it's a lot closer to home. So is that good to have the family involved in the box and they all putting in and training?
No, well, my husband, he did there for a little while, but now he's gone, he's disappeared, and he hasn't been back, so I'm not sure. But the kids love it. They think it's great, yeah.
Final question. It's a bit of a cliche, but how do you do it being a super mum, a super coach, and an athlete?
A lot of juggling, hard work, and I'm usually in bed by 8:30.
That's impressive. Thanks very much, Vicki, and best of luck today.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys, that was just a chat we had with Vicki before. You know, she's a great athlete. I think we're about to kick off here, though. We've got the judges lining up.
Yep.
A couple of the questions. Lou Ferguson, you asked us what is the hardest part of this workout?
So the hardest part of the workout, for sure, you get to those 18 thrusters, you probably get 5, 6 in maybe, and you start to hit that wall. You've just done the burpees, you've just done the 21, you're feeling, I'm feeling great, this is fine, I'm going to kill this workout. But have you paced it correctly up to this point? When it kicks you in the nuts, it depends. Do I push? Do I push back? Do I fight? And how well can you get down to those burpees in the 18s?
Yeah, look, I have to agree. Look, I don't think that any part of the workout is hard. I think it's the mental aspect which is the toughest.
Always.
It's how much you can suck.
Yes, always. I think for a lot of these guys, though, it's going to be go, go, go from the start. So who can best zone out? You know, who can stay focused on their pace, listen to their body? I think they'll do the best. I'll do the best.
Yeah, definitely. Like one thing you mentioned before as well is the fact that, you know, this is a regionals-like environment. It's probably more intense, and there is not much airflow. So those environmental factors are really going to pay into it. I think that's going to be one of the hardest parts, Lou.
Yeah, no, I definitely think, you know, the individual that knows himself best will that can block out the crowd and go at their own pace and not compete against the guy next to them too much, will do best.
Yeah. Now, I don't think we have time, but we might try and we won't cut to Justine's interview. We might do that after because the girls are about to kick off. So we've got all of our judges lined up. We've got our flip counters on the floor, and we're about to kick it off in reverse order. So we'll call it as we see it on the
on this live stream
on the
that
screen.
We're here now.
But one thing that I just want to remind everyone on is please go onto Camp Quality's website and feel free to donate. All the funds today that we raise will be going to Camp Quality.
Guys, we just had a question come in from Shazia Ahmad. So she asked...
It's about the teams. I don't think we can talk about that.
Okay. So she... So we got a question from Dean Clifton, and he goes, Ruth is the best all-rounder in that field, but it won't matter because it's only 2 movements. So that's a good question. But 2 movements can tell a lot of things, okay? So how things are combined, you shouldn't really look at movements, in my perspective as a coach, as just as a burpee and as a thruster. So you're looking at a squat piece to an overhead piece. You're looking at breathing pieces. How well can they transition from high breathing on the burpees to slow breathing on the thruster. On the thruster, you've got to breathe out at the top and breathe out at the bottom. It's so important. But on the burpee, you could do 3 to 4 breaths per burpee. So how well can you make that transition? So that's another thing that I look for. As well with the athlete, how good is their muscular endurance? So we all know it's a horizontal press and an overhead press. So how long can they last in that movement? How good is their training volume throughout the year?
For sure. Pardon me. I think just to that point, we'll just talk about the workout a little bit longer. I think thrusters and burpees are they're very underrated tasks because you're moving your center of mass or a weight through almost the biggest range of motion you can. They're pivotal movements to CrossFit, and they're archetypal CrossFit movements. You see them everywhere from the games all the way down to regionals through to the Open.
Absolutely. I also think how well as well have they planned out their strategy. Yeah. Pacing is so important. How they do the burpee, who will step, who will jump, how they transition over the bar. Will it be a big jump? Will it be a small jump? As well, how deep will they go on their thruster? Who can limit their range of motion the best while still getting the most out of their body?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we said, this is all about bragging rights, I think, because everyone's pretty much locked in. Unless something catastrophic happens this week to any of these athletes, they're all going.
Absolutely.
Let's focus on the girls a little bit more. Just talking about Schwartz's. That was probably the biggest comp that they've all competed in. We had Ruth place first there. We had Amy come in at 4th, Vicki 5th, and Justine 7th. And the Australian region, it's pretty stitched up about the. It's pretty stitched up on the women's side at regionals. I think that we are really competing for one place. Cara has been outstanding, and Ruth has been outstanding.
It's been a good point. It's a good point. Those girls perform so well at the Worlds in the same way that Rob dominates the Australian regional. It's hard to think that they're going to lose their spot. Of course, in our sport, you never know what's going to come up, but at the same time, they just perform so well. They're such good athletes. They train so hard. They stay pretty injury-free. They got good coaches. Their whole lifestyle is based around CrossFit. It's a sport for them now, so can they be beaten? Good question. I'm not sure.
I think you'll actually see a lot of these athletes who are even on the field today going to the Pro Fitness League.
Yes.
Probably something that we're not going to talk about too much. We'll stay focused on this event, but, you know, these are semi-professional athletes. We're looking at the best in the world.
Absolutely. So I've experienced a lot of different athletes and how they train and stuff, and CrossFitters, even from the semi-professional, the mediocre athlete that's 200 to all the way to the top guys, they train day in and day out multiple times a day. So important.
All right. So we got the Twitter feed up. We got a couple of people coming in. Who do you think will win on the men and the women's side?
Thanks, Lou.
Thanks, Lou. My gut is on Ben Gerard and Ruth. That's who I'm picking.
I'm gonna go with Ben on the male side. I would like to see Rory Boyden pull something out of the hat.
Yeah,
but
that would be great for CrossFit Creature.
It would be, but it definitely favours Ben. Just structurally and what we've seen from him, the guy has massive capacity. The guy is a fierce competitor. I'm going to favour Ben. On the women's side, I'm going to go with Justine. I've seen her train. She's a tough girl. She's definitely put in a lot of hard work this year. A big thing she changed from this year is her mental approach to workouts. She used to be very stressful. She needed all her chips in the line to do the workout, and it was kind of an emotional balance doing an open workout for her. It was pretty stressful. But this year, she's got a more relaxed approach to it, and it's paid off. She's performed a lot better.
That's a really good point, Locke. And you know, that aspect of coaching, it's becoming a bit of a commodity in CrossFit now, where people are seeking out these super coaches. You've got guys like Rob Downton. That's the guy's gym that we're at today. And, you know, I was speaking to him earlier. He's potentially going to have 15 individual athletes qualify in the top 60.
That's incredible. Yeah, I think the coaches that know best now will definitely start to filter through. The problem is with CrossFit, because it was so young, there were so many coaches out there and there were so many different programs, and no one really knows what works. But now as the sport evolves, we get the science coming into it, the better coaches who learn and go to seminars, constantly improve, they're starting to get more athletes. So I think that in the future, we will start seeing coaches or coaching programs and businesses having lots of athletes go to the games, as opposed to lots of coaches having small amount of athletes go to the games.
Yeah, it's definitely a flight to quality.
Yes.
So we're just making some announcements here. You probably can't hear them, but we'll try and stay a little bit quiet for a little bit. Maybe we'll cut to Justine's interview whilst this is happening.
See you soon, guys. Justine Beath, welcome to the 14.5 Throwdown. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm a bit nervous, but good.
Okay, so we just wanted to ask some questions. Last year, you competed individually at regionals, but then obviously we saw you go to the games in the team for CrossFit Active. How did that come about?
Brooke Surtees was in the team at regionals. She withdrew from the team for the games because she just had a couple of other commitments and she couldn't really devote the time to training. So I got the call up, which was good for me. It was lucky for me. That's how it all came about.
Cool. So how did your experience there impact this year's of training? Did you decide to go team? Like, did that occur again after that good experience, or did you want to go individually?
I'm going individual. definitely. Being at the games and just seeing all those individual competitors and seeing how good they were has really sort of pushed me to train a little bit harder, but it's actually given me a little bit more confidence to see that I'm actually not that far behind those people at the games. So it's sort of given me a little bit more confidence, if anything.
Very cool. Okay, so the next question. How often do you train alone versus how often do you train with a team or with a squad or training partners?
I think it's a bit of 50-50. A lot of the time I'm with a group of people when I'm training, but sometimes I'll do a bit of stuff on my own. Yeah. So it's a bit of both. Yeah.
Cool. And people always say in CrossFit you need to train your weaknesses, but we also see you're always putting up good strength numbers. So how do you train your strength?
A lot of the time, strength is my strength, so I'm doing a lot of strength work, but under fatigue. So that's how I've been working at it this year, and it seems to be working for me, so it's good.
Okay, and last question. How many locations are you training at currently, and how far do you have to travel to go to these locations?
At the moment, I'm primarily training.
We're just going to cut back to the athletes in a moment.
I do like 3 or 4 days there, and sort of 1 or 2 days at Nepean CrossFit. I travel about 45 minutes to get to Artarmon, and that's purely because I really like the environment and the coaching there is really good.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for your time and good luck today.
All right.
Guys, welcome back. We're just introducing the athletes right now. It is pumping in here at the moment. Absolutely pumping. They are screaming for these athletes. I'm very pumped up. Cam, are you excited?
I am very excited to see how this plays out. So Ruth, who's sitting first in the Australian region, has just come out. So we're about to kick this off. Just bear with us. Obviously, all of these athletes are in the top 60, so we have filming standards which need to be met. So please be patient with us whilst we kick this off. And Drew Santosa, the new CrossFit Norwest facility is pretty impressive. It is large, it is painted, and it is ready to go.
Some of the girls opting to go with knee sleeves and the others not going with knee sleeves. Interesting tactic.
I'm just glad that we're not seeing any weight belts and
no
weightlifting
shoes. No weightlifting shoes. Interesting choice. I think good structurally sound athletes don't really need weightlifting shoes, especially in this workout. They're all looking pretty calm, just adjusting their bars right now. They all look pretty ready to go.
There are a lot of people here today. Nath Beebs is actually taking up 3/4 of the room in a singlet.
Yeah, representing CrossFit Cronulla.
He almost fills out his cut-off singlet as good as Ben Gerard.
Yeah, what about those sunnies? We should get him to put them on.
Yes.
And there's Matt Healy, also known as Super Knees.
Matt actually sent through a couple of inappropriate questions onto my Facebook, but I'll save those for later. All right, we're about to kick this one off, guys.
Girls looking very, very, very focused. Here we go.
Here we go.
All athletes quite a smooth pace right now. Vicki seems to be moving a little bit faster.
They didn't take into account the timers. All right. Everyone's being pretty smart about this first set of 21. Ruth's moving quite fast, actually.
Jess also moving quite fast. Good breathing from Jess, breathing out at the bottom and at the top. That's going to pay off later in the WOD.
I wouldn't expect that these thrusters take much out of Jess. She's got a back squat of about 150 kilos.
Massive, massive.
Amy Dracup's taking the conservative approach here on that 21. We'll see if that pays off.
Most girls opting to go with a step into the burpee and then a 2-foot jump and land, just meeting those standards perfectly. Ruth opting to go with the turnaround during the jump.
I'd give her a 10 out of 10 for poise.
Yes, it's very nice. It's very nice. Looks like Jess definitely going with a strong pace.
I think this is really interesting. Most of them are around the same place. Ruth and Jess are in the clear lead at the moment. We'll see how long they can hold that for. Jess with 5 burpees to go.
Looks like some of the girls have started to change up their pacing a little bit. Could this be the crowd? Could this be the other competitors in the room? Will this affect their result?
Locke mentioned before, that control about parallel, and you can see Justine really nails that each rep. But Jess is just motoring on those thrusters.
Justine looks to have her shoulder taped. We'll see if this will affect her later in the rounds.
Ruth's being very efficient here. She's letting the other girls go ahead. Vicky's back on the bar on the 18, and Amy is about to finish as well. Amy's the last one on the bar. Ruth's going fast on the thrusters.
It looks like they've picked up the pace a little bit on the thrusters. Maybe they're feeling good.
Jess Cogan now back onto the burpees on the set of 18.
Jess is moving. It's all about staying calm, relax.
We're coming up to the 3-minute mark. Locke, do you think Jess's strategy is going to pay off here?
I think so. I think it's all about maintaining that pace on the burpees. Whether it's slow at the start or not, it doesn't matter as long as she can maintain it the whole way through. So
Amy's being very efficient on those thrusters coming out of the hole nice and easy. I think that's going to pay dividends later on.
Yeah, I think so. It allows her to get that breathing down, to stay away from that red line. It's so important. We're so early on in this WOD. The 18 is so critical.
Guys, just remember, if you have any questions, make sure you hashtag BDA Throwdown on Twitter, and we'll try and answer those for you.
Okay, as expected, we've seen a slight drop-off in pace for some of the girls, but other girls are still maintaining a pretty good pace. Ruth, still maintaining that jump and turn.
Jess and Justine both have 5 burpees to go on the set of 18. I think Ruth is going to finish really strong here. That's my bet.
Guys, coming just up to the 4-minute mark. Justine, a slight lead. This will be interesting to see if she hangs on to the bar unbroken or if she goes sets.
This set of 15 is really where it counts, and if Jess can hang on here, I think she's got this one.
Jess right behind her by like 2 reps. Jess definitely moving that bar a lot faster. It'll be interesting to see if she goes unbroken or if she drops it.
Vicki and Ruth are going at about the same pace, about to finish their set of 18. Amy with 4 reps to go on the 18 burpees. But Justine and Jess are just taking this competition away. Jess Cogan finishing her set of 15 thrusters.
Straight down into the burpees.
I think we're going to see some challenges to Kara's score of, I think it's 840.
840, that's going to be tough to beat. What is Sam Briggs? Just above that, around that time. So yeah. Top scorer in the world looks like at the moment.
Ruth is now clearly starting to accelerate. You can see her putting the pain face on.
Guys, 5 minutes 15. We're in 5 minutes 15. Justine and Jess holding on to that pace on the burpees. It's tough, but they're definitely able to maintain this pace. Be interesting to see how we go on the 12s.
Lou, we'll try and get you the splits. It's a little bit difficult, but we'll do our best. Amy Dracup is about to start her 15 burpees at 5:39. Jess Cogan with 5 burpees to go on the set of 15. Justine with 5 burpees to go on the set of 15.
Looks like Vicki and Amy at a pretty similar position.
Ruth is on her
15.
7th burpee on the set of 15. Jess Cogan at 6:01 is about to start her set of 12.
Just taking a short break. Looking very, very strong.
6:12 for our set of 12 with Jess and Justine going at this. Amy Dracup, 5 burpees to go on the set of 15. Vicki Weber with 1 burpee to go on the set of 15.
Jess just put the bar down. It looks like she's going to be taking a short rest, and she's back on the bar.
Ruth, Amy, and Vicki are neck and neck in this workout.
Jess is moving that bar real fast.
This is quick, guys.
Guys, we're seeing a push from Ruth right now. She's in her 12s, and she doesn't look like she's going to put the bar down. Could this be the point where she takes the lead? Is this experience coming through?
Brave athlete Justine has her pain face on.
Jess is on the burpees now. We're at 7 minutes, guys. 7 minutes. Jess is starting the 12 burpees. 7 minutes. All right,
Vicki,
here we go. Ruth starting the 12 burpees.
Vicki and Ruth are neck and neck on the set of 12 burpees at 7:10.
Justine started her 12s.
Amy with 5 reps to go. Jess Cogan, 5 reps to go on the set of 12 at 7:28.
It's interesting to see now. Some of these girls have definitely slowed down on the pace. Did they go out too hard? I think we're finding out now.
Vicki Weber and Ruth are neck and neck on the last set of burpees on the 12. They are closing in on Jess's lead. Vicki and Ruth are closing in.
Jess is on the 9s, pumping them out. She's going to go unbroken, no doubt.
Justine is about to be overtaken on second place.
Interesting. Jess dropped the bar on the 9s. Can she stay on the bar?
Jess
guys,
is in the hurt locker.
8 minutes 15. Ruth starting her 9s.
Vicki and Ruth are neck and neck with Jess now. It's a race to the finish.
Jess starting her 9 burpees. Justine still on the bar on her 9s. 5 to go.
The gap has closed. This is better than the Melbourne Cup.
Whoa, I love horses. It's not that good.
Here we go. Vicki and Ruth neck and neck. They've overtaken Justine for second.
Vicki making it look pretty easy.
Jess with 5 reps to go. Vicki and Ruth. Ruth with 5 reps to go.
Guys,
Vicki
9
with
minutes.
5 reps to go.
9 minutes in.
This is going to be tight. Jess Cogan, 1 rep to go.
All right, Jess is on
Vicki
her 6s.
with 3. Ruth with 2.
Jess is holding on to a slight lead. She's in the 6s now, so she should be able to hang on.
Jess Cogan has a lead of 2 thrusters. Ruth is hot on her tail now. Amy and Justine are battling there.
Jess starting her 6s.
This is going to be a race to the end.
Ruth's
We're about to cross over the 9 minutes 40 mark. Vicki Weber about to finish her thrusters. Ruth on her thrusters.
Come on, Justine needs to stand up and move. She needs to move. These are the 6s, the sprint finish. We shouldn't see her slow down here.
Jess Cogan, 1 burpee to go. Ruth, 2 burpees to go. Jess will hold on to the lead at this point.
Jess going straight on.
Here it
she
goes.
Last
Here it comes. Jess Cogan is going to take this.
Ruth's right on the bar as well. Ruth starting her 3s. Jess going over for 2.
The environment is
2
electric.
More. 1 more for Jess. Jess, time
Jess
for Jess.
Cogan, 10:22. Ruth Horrell, 10:23.
Vicki moving fast. She's closing in now. Justine
Vicki about to
needs to get on the
finish.
bar. Vicki's got 1 more. Time for Vicki.
Vicki Weber, 10:36. Justine and Amy
Still working
finishing
hard
this
in a battle.
off. That was impressive.
Amy 1 burpee to go on the 6s. Justine 2 to go on the 6s. Amy on the bar first. Justine doing her last burpee. Amy 1 more thruster to go. She's got to move. Justine 3 to go.
This is a race.
Amy going over for her last burpee. Justine starting her last 3 burpees. Good. 2 more to go for Justine.
1 more for Justine. The crowd is bringing her home. These girls are
Awesome
hurting.
effort. Well done, girls.
These girls
Awesome to
are
watch.
hurting a lot.
Thank you, Dave Castro. What an exciting WOD.
That was such a good clawback from
Yes.
Ruth and Vicki.
Amazing. That pacing definitely paid off in the end for Ruth.
How do you think these guys would have done doing this workout in their own gyms?
I think for a lot of the girls that train by themselves, they would have done better. But for the girls that are used to the atmosphere, that train in an affiliate with a lot of people, maybe in the evenings in classes, in the mornings in classes, I think it definitely suited them.
Now, we have the benefit of talking to Jess Cogan in a couple of minutes once we clear that floor. But this was a very interesting observation. I think it just goes to show that that competitive environment changes the game so much.
Yep, absolutely. Jess Cogan actually still on her feet, so interesting that maybe she didn't quite go to the red line like the other girls.
Yeah. The best score, some of the scores we're seeing out of the Australian women's are, in that low 10s. Some of these girls did mid to high 10s.
Yes.
And, although they don't need the ranking, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And just goes to show you can't hide when you're in front of a crowd.
No, absolutely not. And especially when you have the crowd behind you, but you really need to stay focused on your pacing. It can definitely mess with you. And I think we saw that happen today. They go too hard out of the blocks, and then, Justine started off second after the 18s and then ended up coming last. But still a massive effort.
That was very impressive. So, guys, Jess is just doing an interview now for the crowd, and then we'll have her afterwards. If you have any questions for Jess, please send them through to BDA Throwdown now. So, guys, we got the Twitter up. We've got one question from Shaz.
Who's Shaz, Cam?
Shaz is my sister, and who's hijacking the Twitter feed with Lou.
I think Jess is going to join us now.
Yeah, we've got Jess here for an interview, though, so we might cut away from the Twitter and get her to take a seat.
Yep, absolutely.
So, again, if you have any questions for Jess, we'll bring those up. Just 1 minute. All right, guys, we're here with Jess Cogan. She just took out the heat. What was your final time, Jess?
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
I think it was low 10s. Low 10s?
Yeah, I think it was around the 10-20 mark.
Yeah, I was just relieved to finish it. I tried to keep the same pace from the start to the end. Thrusters are pretty good for me, obviously. I got short legs. And so just use the burpees as a recovery. Yeah.
Awesome. And how was it? Where'd you hit the wall?
My plan was to do all my thrusters unbroken. And then I got to the set of 15 and I was like, hell no. So then I just thought I'd just do them in 2 sets until I got to the 9s and it was manageable. But yeah, probably around that 15 mark. The 15s are a real mental barrier. Once you push through that, you're on the home stretch. But in every, 21, 15, 9 workout, the number 15 is always pretty horrendous. So same here.
So what was the goal going into it? What was your time? What did you want to get?
I actually wanted to be sub 10. So Rob might give me a little bit of a kick up the arse for that one. But really, I just wanted to come here and try and win. I guess not a lot of people see me as a potential threat, but the next 6 weeks I'm going to be working really hard and see how I can go, see what workouts come up.
I think you definitely proved that today.
Yeah,
It was
definitely.
good.
That's something Locke and I were talking about before. I think the environment here changes that dynamic, and some of the girls who are doing the workout at their own box, they might score sub 10, low 9s, but to do it in front of a crowd of about 400, it's a different atmosphere. So do you find that you feed off that, and is this good preparation for regionals?
I don't feed off it at all. I find it terrifying. But in saying that, approaching any open workout, because it counts, and I'm only ever going to do them once, I find it terrifying. So it was nice to hear and see a few familiar faces and things like that, but I get so nervous that it's kind of to my detriment a little bit.
Were you
Everyone for coming, by the way.
Were you able to warm up properly? It looked like we pushed you, we had the interviews and stuff, and then you kind of jumped into it.
Definitely. I actually did some training this morning before I came here. So I did some air dine intervals and some front squats, and I just find that relaxes me. So I was already pretty rubbed down to I was already pretty ready to go by the time I came here, so it was good.
You sleep on a bed of nails, don't you?
Will he give you dinner tonight?
So what's next in the next 6 weeks? Because we mentioned this was really for bragging rights. You're all pretty much qualified for the regionals. What do the next 6 weeks look like for you?
Well, now that our gym's set up, it's just going to be training and giving myself every opportunity to go out there and do my best and see where I end up. No excuses. I've got every opportunity in this gym to get it done, so to speak. So yeah, I'm feeling really good.
That's really cool.
Looking good. Great job. Really nice.
Hashtag the brave.
Yeah, we actually have our own feed off to our side so we can see ourselves. It's very disconcerting. I feel really fat, particularly beside Jess.
I think you look good, Cam.
Thanks, Locke. So let's talk about the competitive camaraderie in CrossFit for a bit. Do you feel that the girls support each other? Are people supportive of it? Or as we become more of a professional sport, you come from gymnastics, which is a bit different. There's a lot more soccer mums involved. What are your thoughts?
My opinion has actually changed. So my first regionals was 2011, and I'd only just started, so I went teams. But my first individual regionals was 2012. I didn't think the girls were very nice at all, but I think that's just because I was too quiet and I didn't make an effort myself. Since then, when you see them out of competition, everyone is awesome and all great people. And when you see them in competition, I think everyone's individual. There's girls who are so good to have in your heat and they're just so friendly, and for someone who gets a bit nervous like me, it makes it easier. And there are others who are focused themselves, so it might come off as them not being friendly, but it's just they're in their headspace. So
yeah, definitely. Very good. All right, Jess, thank you very much for your time. We're going to cut to the men's heats now, and well done. Good luck with the next 6 weeks.
Well done, Jess.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
All right, the boys are coming onto the field. We got Khan Porter. He is currently in...
Repping the Alpha Fit gear. He's got weightlifting shoes. Interesting. Here we go, Rory Boyden from CrossFit Creature.
Khan is currently in 13th place in the Open as of week 4. Roz is in 10th, representing CrossFit Creature.
Good song choice, Rory Boyden. Good song choice. Brandon Swan, another Alpha Fit athlete.
Brandon Swan, we haven't spoken about him much, but he's probably the most qualified bloke on paper at the field today. He is going for his 3rd attempt to Worlds.
The lads just got their shirts off. So, girls, I'm sure you're very excited right now.
Crowd favourite Ben Gerard just walked onto the field. Now, we've talked about it. We're hoping for big things from Ben. We think he will challenge Froning's score.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's going to do it here today, I mean, we're all thinking Ben Garard. So let's keep a close eye on him, see how he paces it. He's very focused right now. Just checking with his judge, all the standards. They're just filming their introduction videos, guys, for the CrossFit standards.
Now, someone who you wouldn't think traditionally would go well in this workout is Dean Linder-Leighton from the Brave. He's a guy that's done remarkably well in the Open, considering his pedigree, which is weightlifting. He had one bad workout in the deadlift box jump, but, he almost knocked out 10 rounds in 14.1. That shows a lot about his engine.
Oh, absolutely. He said multiple times through social media that his biggest weakness is been his engine work, his aerobic capacity. He thought it was all about the weightlifting for a while, but like most young guys in the sport with that aren't experienced, they eventually learn and they become much better at their training the next year round.
One interesting guy to watch as well will be Khan. Word on the street is he was pretty sick leading into this event, but he's the type of guy who's going to put it all out on the floor.
He's a tough guy. I'm expecting that he'll push just as hard as he normally does, and it shouldn't affect him at all. It's a hell of an athlete.
Just while we wait, Andrew Fraser has just sent a question in about programming and coaches and how they'll react. Look, my opinion is actions speak more than words, and you can't argue with results like Rob Downton's. No. Vicki Weber from Shorts coming in at second, and Ruth with Dogtown CrossFit. Here we go, guys.
And they've started. Brandon Swan picks up that bar incredibly fast.
Swanee has a very good thruster with an arse like that, so I'd expect him to go well in this.
It is beautiful. Having a look at the range of motion between the guys, very different.
At the OC Throwdown, Ben Gerard came second in that. He did a triple Fran, 3 Frans in a row, and the result was based on the average time of those Frans. His worked out to be about 3 minutes back to back. So this guy can move a barbell.
Dean Linder-Leighton just getting a no rep, I think, on that last rep. Those guys are moving on the burpees.
So all the boys are on the burpees at 46 seconds.
Interesting. Rory Boyden and Ben Garard going with a step, but Dean Linder-Leighton going with the jump straight away. Be interesting to see if he changes midway through the WOD. Was this part of his tactics, or is he just kind of shut everything down and now he's just in the moment?
Yeah. Guys, we're just crossing over a minute 10 here. The boys are neck and neck. There's not much to talk about yet. Ben Gerard's actually changed his approach to that burpee. He's going for the step up as well now.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think that the step's the way to go, but it's different for different athletes, different torso lengths, different leg lengths.
Khan Porter, 5 reps to go. Dean Linder-Leighton, 5 reps to go. Ben Gerard, 3 reps to go at 90 seconds.
Khan's switched to the step
Ben
now.
Gerard,
it's a small starter step.
About to start his 18. He's taken a couple of breaths to compose himself. Brandon Swan, 4 reps. Rory Boyden, 4 reps. Look, this is too early to call yet, I reckon.
Yeah, a lot of these guys seem to really be composing themselves. Yeah. It looks like they're sticking to their own pacing. Brandon Swan, Rory Boyden finishing up their last burpees. Now, like we saw in the girls' heat, it's not about who comes off the 18s last. It's about who finishes strong, and that's like with every other CrossFit WOD. So let's see whose pacing pays off best. Yeah.
Brandon Swan just having a bit of a trip up there. Again, you can see...
breaking up the 18s.
CrossFit gets a lot of a bad reputation for poor movement, but you can see all of these guys have impeccable form.
Absolutely. No, I think every sport has poor movements, but just CrossFit specifically has just more exposure, so we see that a lot. But no, all our top guys, like any sport, they move very well. You can see right here, Brandon Swan, Rory Boyden.
Efficiency is rewarded in this sport.
Absolutely. If you want to make every rep perfect, you'll definitely come out on top. Good example of that, Chad Mackay.
Brandon Swan just completed his 18 thrusters. It's 242. Ben Gerard also onto his burpees. Roz on his burpees as well. So Roz has come back.
Yeah, Dean just took a quick look over at Swanee and Rory. So maybe he's pacing off the other guys. Just had a look at Khan. Could this be a good or a bad thing? We're at the 3-minute mark.
I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Khan with the a more exaggerated step now, so seem to have changed. Ben Garard still using the step.
Ben Gerard is about to finish his 18 burpees at 3 minutes 20.
Good. Looks like he's composing himself, just getting his air in before he starts his fastest. Knows exactly what he needs to do.
Dean Linder-Leighton also about to finish his burpees and start his 15. So I think we made that call right about DLL.
I think so.
So this is where it counts now, guys. This set of 15. Khan Porter also starting his 15.
Guys, if you have a look at Ben Garard, he's very exaggerated with his breathing. Breathes out at the top and breathes out at the bottom. Such an important tactic when just pushing your body to the edge and really trying to get the most out of all your fuel. Ben Garard starting on the 15 burpees, well ahead of everyone else, well ahead.
Ben is really starting to put his foot down now. You can see how he's moving. He's moving as a man with determination. Rory and Brandon just falling off the pace a little bit. For the time being, it looks like a race between Ben and Dean. Coming up to 4 minutes 20. Ben is really moving effectively on those burpees.
Swanee finishing up his last thrusters on the 15. Still
Rory,
looking really composed.
Rory with 2 thrusters to go on the 15.
I think Swanee's going to make a bit of a push here. He looks good still.
Khan is just chipping away in the corner, though.
Yeah, let's not forget about Khan in the corner here. He's just chipping away very slowly. Doesn't
Gerard
look like
about to start his set of 12s at 4:52.
Ben composing himself. Very exaggerated breathing. It's a very important tactic. Here he goes again. Let's see if he bangs him out unbroken.
Dean Linder-Leighton, 3 burpees to go at 5:04. He's slowing down a little bit, though. DLL's hitting the hurt locker. Khan Porter, 4 reps to go. Khan is actually chasing Dean down for that second place.
Swanee's still looking very, very composed. I think he's going to make a push soon.
Ben on the 12 burpees.
Good. Not
that
panicking.
guy can work. Rory in the corner, neck and neck with Brandon Swan. I think
Dean looking very composed on these thrusters.
This is where it comes. This is what it comes down to right now. Khan's in clear second. Ben is a clear first.
Ben Garard still on the burpees.
You
Roy
can see
the thrusters.
These boys are still starting to check out. Like you can see it in their face. Khan, 5 thrusters to go, taking a quick peek to the side.
Good. All the guys queuing themselves. They've all been here many times.
Ben Gerard about to finish his set of 12 at 6:10. So it's all downhill for Ben now. I don't think he's going to get throning in this workout.
No, I don't think so either. He's taking a break, hands on knees.
I think
himself.
CJ Walker in the Australian region has a 9:30. I think that 9:30 is going to hold up.
Tim Peterson also with a 9:30. Very good time, very good time.
Again, it comes down to that environment. It's hot, sticky in here, and it's challenging.
It's hard not to look at each other, especially when you're falling behind, but the boys still seem to be sticking to their own game plan.
Khan with 5 reps to go.
Swanee's just overtaken Khan by 1 burpee.
Ben is in the hurt locker. He's pushing himself right to the edge. Rory with 5 reps to go on those burpees. So it looks like Ben in first, Khan in Brendan in second, Khan in third, and Dean and Rory fighting for 5th.
Sorry, Dean is in second.
Dean's in second, I apologise.
Ben is hurting.
Ben Gerard at 7:23 on his 6s.
Khan taking a look over on the thrusters. Needs to focus in and just do his own thing.
He's at 7:32 on the clock. Dean in second. Here it comes. He could actually
40,
get
guys.
throning.
7 minutes 40. He's really got to push. Ben pushing hard on the burpees.
This is Ben Gerard going to make a statement to the CrossFit world.
Guys, 7:55. Here we go. It's coming in close.
Ben Gerard about to start his set of 3 thrusters at 8:02.
Right,
the crowd is electric.
Here he goes, 2. Last thruster. 8
Here we
minutes
go.
10.
8:10.
He's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen.
He is going to beat Rich Froning in front of the world. Ben
8,
Gerard
18.
at 8:18.
Well done, Ben Gerard. Awesome effort. The other athletes still moving. It looks like Dean Linder-Leighton is in second. Swan in close third.
Ben Gerard at
Brandon Swan's
8:18.
really pushing here now. This is very impressive. Good pacing, Swanee. Rory Boyden on
Letting
the
out a
thrusters.
battle cry. Khan is slowed down
Dean
a
on his
little
last
bit
3
here.
thrusters.
The other boys still
Dean down for his
finishing.
last 3 thrusters. Dean in second place.
Dean Linder-Leighton about to finish.
8:55. 8:55 for Dean.
Dean Linder-Leighton, sub-9.
Swanee
Rory
down for his last
Boyden.
3. 2 more for Swanee. Swanee going for his last burpee. 9:09 for Swanee.
9:09.
Awesome effort,
Rory
Swanee.
Boyden about to start his set of 3 at 9:15. Rory's going to finish sub-10. These are the best times in our region so far, guys.
9 minutes 25 for Rory.
Let's go, guys. Cheer them home. Oh, you can't cheer them. You're watching online. 9:33 for Rory
Just yelling at the
Boyden.
computer like a weirdo.
Khan Porter about to finish off his set of 3.
Last 3 for Khan. Khan Porter 9:53.
That is impressive, Khan Porter. All of these guys finishing under 10 minutes. These are international scores.
Massive effort from the boys.
We are really looking forward to having a conversation with Ben Gerard if he doesn't get hospitalised.
Get on that leaderboard now, guys, and check out the scores. All under sub 10 minutes. It looks like top worldwide scores. Very impressive from the boys.
That was amazing. Guys, we're going to have Ben Gerard here shortly, but why don't we cut to Ben Gerard's interview while we're waiting?
Ben Garard, welcome to the 14.5 Throwdown. Let's jump into it. So the OC Throwdown, bitter or sweet?
Oh, it was sweet, man. Yeah, like it was a good experience for me over there, and it was a really good test. Like I had no expectations, but yeah, overall, like I was just stoked with how it all went, and it was good leading up into the season ahead.
Cool. So how has your training changed this year? I noticed that you were with Yami and now maybe with CrossFit Invictus.
Yeah, like I met CJ Martin over there at the OC Throwdown, and we started talking, and he's taking care of my programming now and sort of like individually coaching me. So yeah, I just sort of put my trust in him, try not to get caught up in training for the Open as such, but trying to focus on the bigger goals for the year.
Awesome. And so what's the most valuable piece of advice that Tommy Hackenbrock's given you?
Tommy, oh, he's like very good, just a mental toughness kind of guy. Like in the workouts, he always has a goal and he has an expectation, and like negative split your rounds and sort of just make every session count rather than just doing the work. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, good luck today, mate. Well done. Thank you.
Cheers.
Guys, Ben Garard just finishing up his interview.
Yeah, we'll have him over here in a second. Again, if you have any questions for Ben, please send them through to the Instagram, hashtag BDA Throwdown, and we'll pick that up for you.
Sorry, that was the Twitter, guys. The Twitter.
That was impressive.
Very impressive. Ben just still recovering from the WOD, so we'll give him a little moment.
How do you think that'll stack up on the world standings? Because no one had challenged Froning.
Look, I think it's definitely going to be the top 10 in the world, but there's a lot of athletes out there.
I think someone like Josh Bridges will challenge him.
I think so as well. I think also Irving Hernandez, who won the chest to bar pull-up overhead squat workout, another small athlete, light athlete. Some very impressive burpee times.
Look, I have to say, though, as we saw with those women, the environment changes it.
Absolutely. It was very good to see the guys stick to their game plan and do very, very well.
Yeah.
And get top scores. We know personally, Rory Boyden did this workout and got
10-10
earlier in the week, and he beat his score by 40 seconds. And as I spoke to him, he didn't think he could do much better than that. So it's cool to see him really push and come home and beat that by quite a lot.
Yeah,
So if you're thinking about doing it again, folks, give it a crack.
Well, I'll do it in front of a crowd of 400 and a crowd at home of 10,000. So I'm just looking at the leaderboard. Rich Froning had a time of 8:26. That was first place in the world. as at right now. So Ben officially has first place
in the world.
I'm just going to grab Ben. Just 1 second. I'm going to go off camera.
No worries. Guys, we're here with Ben Garard now. Ben, well done on that finish. How do you feel?
Man, I'm still rooted, eh? Like, I just can't recover. That was the hardest I've ever pushed, probably ever.
Is that harder than the kettlebell run at the OC Throwdown?
Oh, completely different stimulus, I guess. So, yeah, more red line, so harder.
That's incredible. Cool.
Ben, we've just been talking to the universe, and we just checked the leaderboard. You just took Fronting's title, and you are in first place. How does that feel?
You can't win them all, especially when thrusters and burpees come up. So I knew I could execute that workout, and I was so nervous going into it. But yeah, I'm stoked that I pushed to my potential, and yeah, I sort of knew I could do it in that one.
That's awesome, man. And you know, we talked about this before this event. CJ's been programming for you, and you're just trusting that programming, and you've been finding that, you know, not unintuitive, but you're just trusting the program. You may not necessarily be doing what you'd normally do for last year. If CJ is watching this, what do you think he's thinking?
Well, CJ Martin's like taking care of my programming since OC Throwdown. Real genuine guy, got on really well. And yeah, as I said, just trusting in his programming takes it out of my head, and it makes me do things that I obviously wouldn't normally be doing. But yeah, I'm just glad I could execute, because I've been wanting to push hard for the 5 weeks, but that's the first time it felt like it was my limits.
That's awesome.
What seemed to go first in that WOD? Was it quads, shoulders, lungs?
Oh, I think like heart rate. My quads felt pretty good. Felt it in my shoulders, but it was more about being able to stay efficient on the burpees and not losing technique from being sloppy. So that was the hardest part.
Yeah. So the future, you got 6 weeks to regionals. What do the next 6 weeks look like for you, man?
Well, I think it's just going to be a whole heap of hard work leading into May. Like, I don't know how much harder I can push in training, but obviously there's more in the tank, and I'll just go at it as hard as I can and try and execute on the weekend down there in May where it counts.
Awesome. Guys, you know, if you have any other questions for Ben, please send them through to BDA Throwdown, but I'll hand over to Locke.
Ben, so who pushes you in training? So obviously you're out of Minnegong. It's quite far away from a lot of the other guys who train in Sydney. So who do you get to come out throw down with to help push you in training?
Yeah, it's hard living down in like a remote area. It's not very accessible for many people, but I've got a couple of regionals guys that come down whenever they can. Like Ben Wadwell and Wolfie comes down, and my brother. We have a pretty good off season when he's not playing footy with the Raiders. And other than that, man, you just know within yourself, so you've got to push the limits that way. That's about it.
Cool. Ben, we've had one question come through from Lou, and she wants to know, what did you eat before the workout?
I got up, had brekkie, had a double shot latte, 2 poached eggs, a bit of spinach, some ham and mushrooms, and just smashed some blueberries and strawberries before the workout, and that was it.
Awesome. All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up, and that's us done for today for the time being.
Yeah, well done, Ben. That was good, man.
Guys, we'll just do a quick wrap-up, and then I think we're done. Wow.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome.
They were 2 pretty hot heats. I think we saw 2 completely different outcomes as well. The girls didn't perform as well as you'd expect. The boys exceeded expectations.
Definitely. I think, maybe it helped having the guys go first. The girls go first. The guys could see that definitely the crowd played an impact. And, maybe they just had a little bit longer to warm up with or something. But, yeah, the guys definitely exceeded our expectations.
Yeah, it was very impressive. And one thing that I was just thinking about is just, those numbers, they're international numbers.
Massive numbers. Yeah, I think they're going to be hard to beat. Definitely hard to beat. It's very impressive that they're able to put up, those numbers in that sort of environment. It's looking good for regionals, so the boys should take a lot of confidence away from this event.
Look, guys, thank you for tuning in with us today. Just a quick shout out again. Today's all about raising funds for Camp Quality. Thank you for your input on Twitter. Please make sure you go to Camp Quality's website and donate. It's been really fun. And final shout out to Blue Dinosaur, Paleo Bars, and Alpha Fit.
Yep. Thanks, Cam. It was a pleasure commentating with you. Let's do it again sometime.
Indeed. See you later,
Thanks,
guys.